everyone, my name is Andrea Solorzano and I am starting a YouTube channel. This is my first video and this channel is going to be about all things manifestation, art, some culture stuff in there as well, lifestyle, but I'm mostly going to be focusing on manifestation and some of the techniques that I used and my story along with that. So what prompted me to start this channel was my 29th birthday. So last week I turned 29 and I was thinking to myself, okay, what are some things that I want in my future? What do I want to manifest now? Like where am I going now? And so one of the things I was thinking about was, okay, well, what have I learned? So, and I saw this in like an old TikTok video a long time ago, and she wrote down like, the things that she learned from whatever age that she was. So I thought to myself, I really wanted to give myself the platform to share my story and share my message, and hopefully some of the things that I've learned along my way can help somebody as well. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to you all about the 29 things that I have learned. And if you do like my content, go ahead and subscribe, like this video so more people can find it. So we'll go ahead and get started. So number one is fear is an illusion. Now, why do I say that fear is an illusion? So it started out when I was reading this book. It's called 1,000 Names for Joy by Barbara something. I can't remember, but it's a wonderful book. I'm still reading it right now, but she was talking about how fear is an illusion, and I think she gave the example of basically saying that back in like our hunter-gatherer days, there were things to actually be scared about, right? Like if we're gonna get killed or attacked by a bear, someone's gonna steal our food, that sort of thing. But if we're talking about, going to like an interview or something like that, that's not something you necessarily have to be scared about. That's just thoughts that are coming in your brain and isn't necessarily true, right? Like you're not in any danger like that you know of, right? So yeah, so thinking about that, that fear is an illusion, and a lot of the times we're more scared about our thoughts rather than the actual outcome, right? So doing the interview might not actually scare us, right? It's just like the thoughts before the interview comes, that is what is actually scaring you. So being aware of that is something that I've learned. Number two is doubting yourself is a waste of time. So I have spent years in this mode. I have doubted myself for so long. Even starting this channel, I was like, I don't know if anybody like really wants to hear it, but I was just like thinking to myself, like, think of all the people that you can actually help, that sort of thing. But for a long time I was doubting myself. I was like, I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know if that's me, that sort of thing. So yeah, I think if you spend a lot of time doubting yourself rather than just trying it and doing the thing, then I feel like you'll save yourself so much more time in the long run, whether if you fail or if you succeed, right? Like, if you're spending all that time doubting yourself, then you're just using up brain power, you're wasting your energy rather than actually trying it and seeing if it works for you or not, right? So number three, that kind of like follows up with my number three, is challenge yourself. So I had just started this like not too long ago, probably about a month ago, but I realized that there are certain things that I do want to work on, and a lot of times for me, what really works for me is like making things into a game. So me and my boyfriend talked about, what would be our challenge, and our challenge was to stop complaining. So we're like, okay, let's stop complaining for a week. And sorry, I don't really like I'm messing with my hair because I like don't know if I like it or not. But anyways, so me and my boyfriend, we're talking about how we can challenge ourselves, and so we're gonna say like, okay, we're not gonna complain for the whole week. And if anything, if we were to complain about something, then that's the 5-5-5 rule, and we do 5 push-ups, 5 sit-ups, or 5 jumping jacks. So keeping the challenges that you have for yourself, keeping it really light and really playful and fun, whatever you decide, I think can go a long way. So yeah, challenge yourself has definitely helped me. Okay, number 4. So this is my favorite one. I want to say it's my favorite one because it's something that I feel like I've also recently adopted and has taken me such a long time to like really, really grasp. But it is believe in yourself. So man, and it's a hard one because you're like, one of the things that was hard for me was that people around me would believe in me. Like they believed in, the things that I wanted, achieving the dreams that I had, all of that stuff. But I felt like I just couldn't see it for myself. Like I could not like understand why they saw it in me, but I couldn't see it for myself. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of that kind of stems from childhood. Like yeah, like my mom, I grew up with a single mom, and so she just wasn't around as much as I would have liked her to be, which is not her fault at all. She was just taking care of us as best as she could. But what I'm saying is that the like that having that adults around you tell you like, you're capable, you're powerful, I believe in you, and anything you do, you're going to succeed. All those things are so valuable, especially from like the time when you're a baby up until 7 years old. Like that's the time where you kind of come up with like your own belief systems and stuff. And so it's just like one of those things where, if you don't feel like that's like a strong enough like muscle in your brain, then you have to come up with that yourself. So I was studying to become an art therapist, but I'm still like on the fence about it. Like maybe I will do it like later on in the future, but right now I just want to do this. But one of the things that I learned was that your brain and your thought patterns, like they're literally a muscle. So I just thought it was so interesting. Like the more that you think about something, like, it's just like the more that you work out like your arm or your legs or something like that, your muscle becomes stronger. It's the same thing in your brain. The more you think about something, that becomes stronger, and that's what you naturally gravitate towards. So you have to just kind of build that muscle, and then eventually, it'll be strong enough to it's just like on autopilot, right? Okay, number 5 is abundance is on your side. So this one was also something that I had a hard time grasping due to childhood. I mean, we grew up in poverty. We were always moving all the time. Like I said, my mom was a single mom, and she had 3 kids that she was taking care of on her own. And I'll get into my story in another video. But, one of the things was like, finding out that, even though we grew up in poverty, we still had everything available for us to survive, right? So shelter, food, clothes, like all of those things, water, we had those necessary basic things to survive. And that was something that I didn't really understand like growing up. Like I always thought like abundance was having a lot of money, having a lot of material things, but it really comes down to a mindset, and that is something that I am really like starting to understand these days, that you can even be the richest person in the world, and you can still have a scarcity mindset and not want to spend your money at all, like not want to reward yourself for like your accomplishments, or share experiences with other people. That I feel like to me is having a scarcity mindset, because you're not trying to push yourself outside your boundaries and like celebrate like your wealth and everything that you have. So it's definitely, it comes down to a mindset. It's not about how much money you have, but just knowing that abundance is on your side. You know, the beautiful nature around you, the abundance of the sun, the warmth of the sun, the air, the ocean, all of these things come down to, it is abundance, right? So enjoying those things and truly, truly feeling the gift of that. So, number 6 is, it's not about me, it's about the solution and the service. So, this one's a really interesting one because it really ties in with what I'm doing right now, YouTube. Like I said, I was having such a hard time coming coming to myself and saying like, I want to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to do it no matter what. I don't care what people say. That was something that like I had not, like, I don't know why, but I just felt like I just didn't get there, right? Like I wasn't ready for that yet. I was like so much in my head. Like I said, I was doubting myself. I was thinking, you know, no one's going to want to watch my content. Like no one's going to like it. Like people aren't going to listen to what I have to say. I don't know, just like coming up with I had all of these limiting beliefs towards like becoming what I wanted, you know, just doing what I wanted to do. Rather than thinking about, you know, the service that I can actually provide people, right? Just like you, your story and what you've gone through, what I've gone through, we've all like come up with our own perspective. And that perspective, even though we are learning kind of a lot of the same lessons in different ways, we are all teachers and we're all learning from each other. So I finally gathered the courage and I was thinking to myself, like, even if this reaches one person and one person feels like, you know, like they resonate with my message and they resonate with the things that I'm saying, like that, I already know that like I've made an impact on someone, right? And that just means like the world to me, right? Like I feel useful, I feel of service, and you know, all of those doubts go out the window at the end of the day when it comes down to that. That was a mouthful. So let me take a drink. I'm drinking ginger tea, and this is my favorite mug. I got it as a gift in Yosemite. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm on number 7. Okay. So I remember when I learned this lesson. Like I distinctly remember when I learned this lesson, when I first heard of it, but I didn't actually understand and I didn't really embody it until like, I want to say like a couple weeks ago, because I've been, like I said, like I love manifestation. Like I love law of attraction. I just learned about law of assumption, like all of these like amazing, like the law, right? So, number 7 is, it's all about energy. Okay, and I was like thinking, and when I first learned this lesson, okay, so little background story. I got my degree in painting and printmaking at San Diego State University, and this actually right over here, this mural in the background, that's something that I did myself, and I'm really proud of it. But as you can see, that it's all like abstract type of artwork, right? Like it's not something that, you know, it's not realistic. So when I was in college, I was working for a local artist, very successful artist in San Diego. Has her gallery in Little Italy, and it's just beautiful, the artwork that she does. And I was like, everybody was just so blown away by her artwork, and I was just like, man, like, I can't make art like that. Like, my art doesn't look like that, you know? Like, no one's gonna wanna buy my art, right? Like, all of these negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, all that stuff. And like, I'm telling her this stuff, and she goes, Andrea, like, it's not about like the skill level, it's about energy, right? And I was like, what? Like, people are like not buying your painting for like how cool it looks, right? Like for like the skills that you have. And like I said, like this is something I couldn't really understand, but it makes sense, right? Like there's artwork out there and you're just like, okay, that looks like a 5-year-old did it. Like, why are you, like, what's so special about this artwork, right? But It's so true. Like it's the energy behind the artwork. It's like how that makes you feel, and that's all relative to each person, right? So you can look at something that's super abstract and like vibe with it and be like, wow, this, I don't know, for some reason it like moves something inside me, right? But like for other reasons, it could be like, yeah, it looks cool, like, right? Like, I like it, cool, but not my style, right? Like that's not something that like speaks to me. So, so that applies to everything, you know, and it applies to money. It applies to people, right? Like all of these, like career, like all of this stuff. Like it's all energy, and it's like it's all about what you put out there, and that's what you get back. So, and it's all a process, right? Like this is something that I'm still continue like, and it's something that I'll always be learning. But I love this one because I was like, I totally remember the day I learned that, and I was just like so confused. Okay, number 8, always look for the positive in every situation. This one has saved me. I feel like the positive, like, you know, there's times where you're like, okay, it's not time to be like airy fairy about this stuff, right? Like you, like, okay, this is a reality that we do live in and stuff. And like we can't just be delusional all the time. Like not like there definitely is a thing called positive toxic or yeah toxic positivity, and I've definitely been there. And so you don't want to go there where you're just like, okay, everything's great and like nothing is bad. But it's like, okay, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, well it could be worse, and at least I have this and I'm grateful for that. And hey, like I still have my you know, legs, whatever it is. I still have my health. Like those are all things that to be totally grateful for, and to it's an easy way to look for the positive in the situation. So I really like that one. Okay. Number, excuse me. Number 9 is choose your family. Okay. This is a good one because when you grow up in your family, you think that you only get along with certain amount of people, especially like when you're in high school, you're like, okay, like I'm an athlete, so I will pretty much only get along with people who play sports too. Like other than that, like I can't really get along with anybody. But I think what it comes down to is like think about the person that you want to become, right? Like how do you want people to see you? How do you want to be perceived? And then start there, because from there you can choose the people that you want to become. So even if it means like you can't actually like hang out with them, it's also like the people that you're watching, right? So if you're interested in becoming a YouTuber, like a successful YouTuber, you're probably going to be watching a lot of videos like Gary Vee, right? Like those, and just embodying those types of people and just taking what you want. It's like going shopping, like just, or window shopping, it's just like picking and choosing what you want, right? And you're just like putting it in the bag, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna take that from that person and I'm going to embody that as myself because that's who I want to become, right? So the 5 people that you're closest with are essentially the person that you become. So take that one really seriously. Take that one really seriously. Number 10, take time to heal. Okay. So like I said, I have gone through, I mean, like I said, I will get into like my whole story, my trauma and all that stuff in a later video. But oh my gosh, like I have taken years, like freaking years to heal. I want to say I'm on like year 7 or something on just, you know, going like journaling, meditating, just totally zoning in on and focusing on my healing. It is so important to give yourself that time because for me, like taking that time to heal is considered self-love. Like that is the ultimate version of self-love because you need it. Like you absolutely need that. Otherwise, it's going to keep gnawing at you as you get older. Whatever job that you get into, whatever thing that you end up doing, like it will not leave you alone. So definitely take time to heal, whatever that means for you. And that ties in with number 11, which is allow yourself to feel. So, what do I mean by that? When I say allowing yourself to feel, is if you, let's just say you're going through something, like something made you, something triggered you, and you could not understand why, you journaled on it, and it's still like making you frustrated, or you're, you know, tears are coming down, like you're just flustered. Excuse me. You're just upset and you can't understand it. Cry. You know, if you need to cry about it, if you're angry, like use that energy and let that out, because at the end of the day, your emotions are energy in motion, right? So you need to allow that energy to move out of you, move through you. So, I mean, there's times where I've like screamed in my pillow, you know, painting, drawing, journaling, meditating, going for a run, like physical activities are amazing. Like honestly, going to the gym, weightlifting, all that stuff, and using that energy to like I'm just like so pissed, right? Like using that energy just to let that out. That is literally like you know what I mean? Like you know when you like those things like the old way of like doing the laundry and they're like scrubbing it down, like you're yeah, like that's basically what you're doing to your emotions, right? Like you're just getting out the gunk. So use that time and allow yourself to feel those emotions. I know for me, like I would always try to like push it away. Like I would always be like, okay, like I don't have time to feel that right now. Like I'm at work, like, or I don't have time to feel that right now. I'm like with somebody, or I don't have time to feel that right now because I don't feel like crying right now, right? Like you have to allow that for yourself. That's another form of self love for sure. Okay, and the next one is perfect too. So I'm having a ginger tea, and what I did was like I just like sliced up some ginger and I just put like hot water. But I just like I'm chewing on a ginger right now. It's like super spicy. It's spicy. Okay, number 12. Love yourself unconditionally. That one's a good one because when you're in that like shadow part of yourself where you're just like, I fucking hate my life right now and I don't like myself or whatever it is, like the easiest way to move through that is to love yourself. And what I'm saying is that let's just say you're really depressed and you're really pissed at yourself for being depressed. Telling yourself that you love yourself anyways will release that freaking like hold on you. Like seriously, it's so crazy. I was the type of person that was like, okay, if I feel something right now, I don't have time for it, right? Like, I don't have time to cry about this right now. I don't have time to feel this right now, right? And I wouldn't let myself come back to it. And then I would just like literally try to shun that part of me so I can just like move on, right? But like I said, at the end of the day, it will always catch up to you. Like it can be years later, it will still be like pushing your buttons, like, hey, don't forget about me, right? And it'll bite you in the ass. Like just take that time to say, okay, I see you and I'm sorry, or like, what do you need right now? And I love you. And that is all like visualization type of work. And that is super powerful. And we'll get into that in another video as well. Okay. Number 12, or no, number 13. Do the thing that you're scared of. So, like I had said in the beginning of this video, was that I wanted to do YouTube for a while, and I was honestly scared of it. I was like, I don't know if people want to see me, right? Like I was actually scared of being seen for so long. And this is because of how I grew up, the trauma that I went through. Yeah, I was just like not ready for that. So and so anyways, I just didn't want to do it. But I thought to myself, if this is the thing that's going to push me to the next level, I'm doing it. I decided this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be me, and whoever likes it. Whoever doesn't have to watch it. I don't care. I do not care anymore, right? I'm not going to let my fears hold me back from doing the thing that I actually want to do. If I think it's actually going to help me grow, I'm going to do it, right? Like it's an illusion, right? The thing is that your brain is trying to keep you safe, right? But at the same time, it can actually hold you back from doing the things that will actually help you. So do the thing that you're scared of. Number 14, live your life with purpose and intention. Okay, that was a good one. Live your life with purpose and intention. So it took a while for me to understand, like, what is my purpose? What's the point of all this? Like, why am I here? All those questions that you like ask yourself, especially like after you graduate college, you're kind of like, okay, well, what now? I can't remember. I think it was from Abraham Hicks that I had learned this, and this was after or while I was in college or after I graduated. I can't remember. But oh man, she totally helped me. And she was saying, one of the things that she mentioned was like, literally your purpose is to live a joyful life, right? So if you, and I just like, I don't know why, but that just like so resonated with me, because it's so simple and it's so easy, but it also was like, oh, I don't have to try so hard, right? Like, it's just do what makes you happy. Like, that's all you have to do, right? So I've been living with that. Of course, there's times where I forget, but that's really taken me very far, very far. And the intention part of it, and I heard this from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was saying how even when, I think it was Tony Robbins, but he's like, think about your intention in everything that you do, because, right, energy travels, right? It's, the exchange that we have with other people, the exchange that we have with objects, right? Like this is a transfer, right? So when you're calling someone on the phone, like, let's just say you're going to call your mom, are you like, what's your intention, right? Is it just to ask her for, like, I don't know, something like, can you just give me the recipe of like this really amazing thing that you cooked when I was a kid? Or is your intention to let her know that you love her and you love the food that she made when you were a child, and you want to bring that home, and so that you can have a part of her with you at home, right? Even if she's not there, right? So those are ways that you can kind of intend on joy, intend on love, and you can do that with everything that you do, and all of that energy transfers, right? And that essentially is what makes you a high value person, right? You are in that high vibe, right? And you're constantly transferring that high vibe, and that high vibe is transferring back with you. So that was number 14. Number 15 is allow your life to surprise you. So this is just kind of like a simple one, but don't, like, you can make plans and you can have an itinerary for like places that you travel to, but, allow your life to surprise you, like, allow yourself to surprise other people too. Like, do something out of the ordinary, right? You don't always want to be predictable. Like, that's boring, so get yourself out of your comfort zone. That was like a really, really fun one for me. Like, I don't know. One of the things that I've recently been doing was I've been writing little notes and just leaving it. I've been leaving it like in people's mailboxes and in random places and stuff, just to surprise. And I just thought it was fun and stuff. So you can try something like that. And I think I don't know. I just think it's kind of cute and kind of fun. I always saw that when I was like younger, and so I was like, oh, like, now it's fun that I get to be that person who does that. So that was number 15. Number 16 is create boundaries and non-negotiables. Ooh, when I discovered this, I was like, Oh yeah, I felt like a powerful, like I just felt like a bad bitch, right? Like I was just like, it's just not freaking happening. So I did this the other day. I did this yesterday with my boyfriend. So I get so annoyed when I'm like talking to somebody, especially when I'm talking about something like actually kind of serious, and someone's like on their phone. They're like, yeah, like I'm listening. I'm just like not, I'm just looking at this or whatever, right? And I'm just like, okay, it doesn't look like you're listening. But yeah, so my boyfriend was doing that, and we were having a conversation about having intimate conversations. So I mean, and it's not like he was on his phone the whole time. He just like glanced at it, and then he started like kind of like he glanced at it for a second, and then all of a sudden like he's just like okay, like scrolling really quickly, and then I just got up and walked away. And then he's just like, wait, like, wait, what happened? Like, are we done? And I was like, yeah, I'll just wait until, I just wait until I have your full attention. Right? Like, that is a boundary. Okay. So I am telling him without telling him that I will not, it's a non negotiable for me. If we're having a serious conversation, I'm not here for it if you're not giving me your full attention. Okay, so finding those like sleek ways to kind of slip that in there without actually telling the person like makes you feel so freaking like powerful, dude. Like you have no idea. Okay, number 17. Choose happiness. So, okay, when I was depressed for a very, very long time. And like I said, I'll get into the story in a different video. But man, it was hard for me to even get out of bed. Like I was the type of girl that was like not even getting like I was getting out at like 1 p.m. right, and I just had a hard time. Sorry, my hair is like, ugh, but whatever. Yeah, so I just had a hard time. I was like in my thoughts, like I couldn't figure out like what was wrong. And that's when I was like on my YouTube healing journey, and I'm listening to all these teachers and stuff, and I'm just like, and everyone's talking about, okay, just be happy, like, just, all you have to do is this and that, and like, they made it sound super simple, but at the end of the day, it really is that simple. Like, it's one of those things that you just have to constantly wake up and tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna choose to be happy. Like, no matter what the fuck happens today, I am just going to find the positive, and I'm gonna choose to be happy today. Right? Like I'm just going to figure it out. Yeah. So it's that one's a hard one to embody when you're deep in the trenches. But literally, even if you don't believe it yet, if you're just telling yourself, I'm just gonna choose to be happy today, see how far it takes you. Try it for a week. Try it for a week. See how far it takes you. All right. Number 18, ask for what you want. So this one is another one of my favorites because this one comes in with like manifestation. If you are trying to, let's just say you're trying to manifest a new car, but for some reason it's not like, it's kind of out of like your reach, right? Like let's just say well, y'all use myself as an example. I was trying to manifest a hybrid Jeep, and I love Jeeps. Like it's like one of my favorite cars. So, but I did not have like the money for it. I didn't have like, yeah, I didn't have the savings for it. Like, and it was also just like crazy expensive, just crazy. It was like, it wasn't practical for me for where I was at. Right. And so I'm like thinking to myself, no, but I really want this Jeep, like, and I'm like manifesting it, like I'm doing my best, like to just like imagine myself in the car and all this stuff. And then I'm like, okay, well, for where I'm at right now, what do I actually like when it comes down to it? Like, does it actually have to be the Jeep, or like what is it like that I like about this Jeep? Like, what does it come down to? And at the end of the day, like what it really came down to me, what it came down to was that I just really like the idea of like hybrid cars. Like I just thought it was so cool, and I just like the look of a Jeep and stuff. So I was like, okay, like if it's like not, if it's not the next step for me. Like if it's too far of a jump for me, okay, what's the next best thing for me? And I'm like, okay, I just want a hybrid car, right? So like really, like I would honestly be truly happy with just a hybrid car because I know that I'm doing my part in, you know, the environment and stuff like that. And then maybe later down the line, I'll get a Jeep. So that's exactly what happened. I got something that was more practical for me. At the time, I didn't even have a job. I just like, I don't know how, but like I ended up manifesting it. And yeah, so I mean, like I said, maybe later on I'll get the Jeep, but you know, there's no point in not asking for what you want. Like there really is no point. Like you might as well like dream big or not dream at all, right? And then you can break down those dreams into smaller parts. That's really what it comes down to when it comes to manifesting. Okay, so number 19, know that you are worthy. Ooh, man, that one, oh, I love this one. So this is, I got this from one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Mina Irfan, or people know her as like the Universe Guru. But I love her. I love her. She's the one who actually inspired me to start this channel. So thank you, Mina. But she talks about how there are like, she's like, there's no point in not thinking that you're worthy. Like, she's like, think of a baby. Think of like a baby that just like was born, like just got out of the mother's womb. Like, is that baby's never contributed to society? Like, they haven't made any money, right? Like, they were just born. Like, is that baby worthy? Like, yeah, of course that baby's worthy. Like, it's a human, right? It's a human being. And so so that was a hard thing for me to grasp because I was like, I was so depressed. I was like thinking, okay, well, what's the point of me even being here? Like, I'm not really that helpful or that sort of thing. Like, I just didn't feel worthy of the things that I wanted. And at the end of the day, it's just like, dude, like, if a baby is worthy, then you're worthy too. And you're worthy to have the things that you want, just like that baby, right? Like, just like any other child, just like any other human being. Like, you are so worthy. So don't forget that, you know. I don't know if you're going through any of that, but man, like I just know that for sure. Like just embody that. Okay. Number 20, allow support in your life. So I was the type of a student, like I was the type of kid in elementary school that like I felt like, again, I didn't feel worthy. I was so scared. I was so shy. I didn't want people to like, I didn't want my teacher to call on me. Like I never raised my hand, that sort of thing. And I didn't like to ask for help. And that was the one thing that my teacher always mentioned in my parent-teacher conferences was like, she does not ask for help. You know, and that bit me in the butt because first off, those are relationships that I am like missing out on, right? Like those are connections that I could be making, right? Those are mistakes I could be learning from like a lot sooner. But instead, I was closing myself off by not asking for help and not asking for the things that I want. So allow your life to support you and just, you know, just say like, just repeat to yourself, the universe has got my back. You know, the universe has got my back. If anything happens, if something fails, like if something doesn't follow through, like my plan doesn't work out, like the universe has got my freaking back, right? And just, again, another embodiment. Just embody that because it really does. It really does. Number 21. I love this one too. I love this one so much. I was thinking about this one today. Health is wealth. So take care of your body. It is so important to just recognize the power of exercise and how much it helps like your brain and your thinking. So if you are depressed, even getting like a walk outside, getting some vitamin D, like doing something outside of your routine. Let's just say you go to the gym like all the time and you're so sick of it, but you like know it's good for you. Like doing something, like go for a run outside, like try a workout class, like do some yoga outside, just do something outside of your routine, but something active will definitely help you in terms of just feeling better all around, like inside and out. So take care of your body. Number 22, don't put so much pressure on yourself. This one is something I am still learning. I am still loving myself through this. But I think it comes down to having that like perfectionist like attitude. Yeah, I don't know why or where that stems from. It's probably from my mom, honestly, because my mom's like such a go-getter. And she just like rocked it and stuff. But yeah, that was something I've definitely been struggling with, like, and I'm still working through. I'm still working through this one. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Number 22, your life is a gift and date the universe. I love this one. Oh my God. Okay. So again, when I was depressed, I was the type of girl that was like not getting out of bed. I was having a hard time just being around other people and just feeling good. So like I would not wear cute clothes or anything. I wouldn't really like dress up and stuff. But that was something I've always liked to do. Like I remember when I was in high school, like I was part of like the student council, so we would like wake up super early to get to school and stuff and like have our meetings or whatever. And I just loved like getting up and dressing up for the day. And so that is something I have recently just wanted to embody, was to just dress up for the day, because your life is a gift, right? Like this is a new day. This is a new freaking day. And be proud of that. Like you're still here, right? So dress up and look your best. And a lot of the times when you look your best, you feel your best, right? And then when you feel your best, the best things are attracted to you, things that you want. So that's another manifestation tip. Number 24, this one kind of goes without saying, but I don't think I really have to explain this one, but be grateful. It's probably I don't know, it's number 24, but it should be like number 1, I guess, because it's like such a big one. Like it's such a big part of my life. Every day I start off like journaling and I'm like, I'm so happy and grateful for. I'm so happy and grateful for. I'm so happy and grateful for. Like it doesn't even have to be something that like anything like big. It can literally just be like, I'm so happy and grateful for the cells in my body, right? To get deep when it comes to those things, because your life, it's like so complex and it's like deep, super, super crazy, super crazy. So yeah, be grateful for all that stuff. All right, number 25, clear your mind and meditate. Excuse me. I know I have this like tickle in my throat right now, and I don't know what it is, but 25 is clear your mind and meditate. So this one changed my life. I remember when I learned this one too. I was probably 23 or something. Oh man, I was deep in the trenches. And I was just not feeling myself. I was just like, I am always occupied, like my mind is always occupied. I feel like I can't figure anything out. I don't know where my life is going. Ugh, all that stuff, right? This girl, no, this guy. It was this guy. This guy that I worked with, he would go to this Buddhist temple. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he was like, yeah, you should go. Like, it's helped me a lot. We talked about like we definitely were interested in like improving, right? And so, yeah, sorry, I just had a thought come in my mind. So yeah, we actually connected on our depression, to be honest. And unfortunately, he did pass away. He definitely was trying, but he had like lung cancer or something. So I just want to take a moment to honor him. But yeah, he was the one who introduced me to meditation. And so he brought me to a meditation temple, and I never sat down quietly before. Oh my gosh, it was like the scariest thing for me. So I sat down and I had It's so funny how meditation works. So this is the first time I was meditating, and my purse, you got to put like your purses and like your things in like cubbies. So I put my purse in my cubby, and then I go sit down. There's probably like, I don't know, like 20 people there. Oh, excuse me. Not that many, right? But the whole time I'm like, did I put my phone on silent? Did I put my phone on silent? I shouldn't get up right now. Like, these are like thoughts that are just racing through my head. Like, I feel like I'm like sweating. So I was like, oh my freaking gosh, like my phone's gonna go off and we're all gonna be meditating and I was supposed to turn off my phone, like, ah! Right? Like, I was freaking out in my head. And then we started meditating, right? And so I'm like, I'm like still thinking these thoughts. And I'm like, I don't know why I couldn't get up like while she was talking, but like I just like had this thing where I was like, I don't want to be rude. Anyways, that's a limiting belief, right? But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, like when my phone goes off, it's gonna ring, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like, I had the thought, and I was like, if it rings, then so what? I'll just go turn it off. So what? And then it just went dead silent in my brain. I was like, what? Like, and you know, like when you're thinking about like stressing about something and it just like starts like building up. So I was getting that, like my shoulder was like literally all tense, like on one side. On all of a sudden I had that thought and it went away. And it was really interesting because she was talking about meditation and she was talking about like how it works. And she was saying that if a thought pops up in your head while you're trying to meditate, just think of it like a cloud. Like your mind is the sky and think of the thought as the cloud and just wipe it away, right? And so that was so like freaking profound. Like I was like, oh my God, like you just freaking blew my mind right now. So yeah, clear your mind, because when you clear your mind, it just makes life so much easier. Number 26, pay attention to your thoughts. So it's kind of funny because coming from that to this. But yeah, pay attention to the thoughts that you are thinking when you are conscious, right? Like when you are like going through your day to day. Let's just say you're driving to work and you're saying like how much you freaking like hate your job or whatever. Like pay attention to that, because that is actually probably causing you more stress than it needs to, or a lot more anxiety than it needs to. This was something I was so guilty for this. And then I'm thinking to myself like, why am I stressing over this? Like, I'm still gonna go to work. Like, I'm still on my way. Like, it's still gonna happen. I'm on my way to do it. Like, I might as well just like, it's better for me to just like not even think anything right now than to think these thoughts, right? Because I don't want those thoughts to become stronger within me. Like, nah. Number 27. Share your story. Here I am starting my YouTube channel because I want to share my story. This was something, again, like I was like so nervous about. I doubted myself for so long. I was like, no one's gonna listen to me. And I'm like, whatever. Even if no one listens to me, it's okay. Like maybe my story will help somebody. Hopefully it does. I hope it resonates with somebody out there. But share your story because, oh my gosh, you'll just feel so much more confident. Already, like me just having this conversation right now, like with myself like right now, but me just having this conversation and just like speaking up like is already making me feel so much more confident in myself. So yeah, you tell yourself like, I'm gonna have the courage today, like God, universe, source, like please give me that courage to be able to share my story, right? That's another manifestation trick that you can do. Yeah, having that full conversation with God, the universe, source. Number 28, enjoy the process. Okay, so sorry, I was being silly. So yeah, enjoy the process, man. It's one of those things where you know, you like, it's like kind of like, okay, living your purpose, it's like you might like, you know, live your purpose, and your purpose is joy. So it's like along the way of like trying something new, like you might as well have fun while you're doing it, right? So enjoy the process, because I think that's what life is mostly about. It's literally about process and stuff. I feel like the process is the feminine, and the actual like container of like the structure, you know, let's just use YouTube as an example, but like the, you know, posting part of it, like the description, like the links, like the marketing, I feel like that is more of like the masculine side. And then like the feminine is like enjoying, like the, you know, enjoying this moment right now, you know, enjoying my journaling, enjoying like the flow and all that stuff, right? So enjoy the process. Oh my gosh, last one. Excuse me. Last one. So I wrote this down. Like I wrote this all down last week on my birthday, which was July 7th. And so I've been having trouble with like my DS. I had trouble with my DSLR, and then I had just like issue. I filmed it on like my phone, and then yeah, storage was like not really there for me. So, anyways, here I am, finally doing it, at least on my computer. It's something, it's a start, right? And during this time, I've been doing all the other stuff, right? I've been like working on worksheets that I can give you guys. Like I've been working on, you know, marketing stuff that I can also put out there. And while I'm doing these things, I'm listening to other YouTubers, and I can't remember the YouTuber that I listened to literally today. And she was like, and it was about the law of assumption, and she was like, don't be like, I know I've told you in my past videos, but like, you don't have to be patient anymore. And I'm like, I'm interested, like what? And I'm thinking to myself, like, what does she mean by being like, don't be patient anymore? And then she like reads the definition, and she literally says that like patience comes from like the Greek and Latin, like one of like the Latin word like suffering or something like that. I can't even remember what she said, but a lot of people have like all this like resistance to the word patience. So she breaks it down, and she's like, she's like, you can just change the word. And I love this. I love this. Okay, so as you probably know, number 29 is be patient, but I'm changing it now to the new word that she came up with, which is be composed. Composure. I love that. I love that, because it's kind of just being in your now and being okay with what's coming to you. Like, you know, just holding your ground, right? Like you are holding your ground. You want what you want, and you know that it's coming, and you're just holding your ground. You're going to be composed, right? You're going to be easy about it. You're not going to be antsy. You're just going to compose yourself. So I love that. And you can obviously change it to like other things. She talks about like being faithful, or I don't remember what the other words that she mentioned, but composure. I love that one. So that's number 29. Instead of being patient, be composed. Okay. So I hope you all really enjoyed my video. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. This is the kind of content that I love doing. This is the type of, like, I love manifestation, all this stuff. So if you enjoy this work, then please go ahead and subscribe and follow along my journey on where I'll be next. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.